morning everyone. So let us start our class. So after logarithm completed. So now let us start chapter 4. Okay. Quadratic equation. Quadratic equation. So now you already know the standard form of a quadratic equation. Okay. Or in polynomials also you have got standard form of a quadratic polynomial. Okay. So this is what standard form. Standard form is what? Ax square plus bx plus c is equal to 0, where a cannot be 0. Why? Because if a will be 0, then it will be no longer of degree 2, and if it is not of degree 2, then it is not quadratic. Understood? So a cannot be 0. So this is the quadratic equation. B can be 0 also, B may not be 0 also, C constant may be there or constant may not be there. Okay, but your A should not be 0. If A is 0, then this will be linear equation, not quadratic equation. So this is the standard form of a quadratic equation where A, B and C are what? Real numbers, and what? A is not equal to 0. Okay, so the standard form is this. Now what will happen when B will be equal to 0? If B is 0, then we will get what? Ax square plus c equal to 0. And this is known as what? This is known as pure quadratic equation. Pure quadratic equation. Okay. Because you see, there is only degree is what? 2. There is no degree 1. Okay. So the only what degree left of the variable is what? 2. So this is known as pure quadratic equation. Okay. And if b is not equal to 0, when b is not equal to 0 means for this one only, ax square plus bx plus c. If b is not equal to 0, then we say that what? Adfacted quadratic equation. Adfacted quadratic equation. Okay. So one mark question may come in pure quadratic equation. What is the coefficient of x? Okay. So what will be the coefficient of x? It will be 0. So like that one mark question may come, or write the pure quadratic equation, write the adfacted quadratic equation. Okay. In adfacted quadratic equation, b is not equal to 0 means coefficient of x is not equal to 0. Okay. So this type of question may come for 1 marks in multiple choice question part. Okay, now let us go for roots. Roots, you know, already in polynomials I have said quadratic polynomial. In polynomial we discuss about what? Zeros. Okay, now this is quadratic equation. Same thing, only equal will come. Equal sign means equation, right hand side, left hand side. So this is an equation. So in case of polynomials we say it is a zeros, and in case of quadratic, in case of equation, quadratic equation we will say as roots. Okay, so same thing, zeros and roots, meaning same. What is roots? Roots is that value of the variable. Roots is what? Roots is nothing but the value of the variable. The variable over here is x, so the value of x, that is only your roots. How many roots you will get? 2 roots you will get. Why? Because the degree is 2. Since degree is 2, so how many roots you will get? 2. So roots is value of the variable which satisfies the equation, and if you put that value of the roots, in case of polynomials you have done, if you put the zeros, then the equation gets what? Satisfied, right? So same thing, value roots is the value of the variable which satisfies the equation. Okay, and you know, since degree is 2, so roots also how much? Roots also 2. Okay, there will be 2 roots. Okay, since degree also is 2, so roots will also be what? 2. Okay, 2 roots. Now how to find roots? There are lots of methods are there. One is to definitely factorization, the easiest method, by splitting the middle terms by a plus b whole square, a minus b whole square, or by a square minus b square. Splitting the middle terms also we have done. Okay, so this is one method. Another one, more 2 methods. There are several methods. There are not that more 2 methods, but we will learn about another 2 methods. one is known as completing square, that you will learn in maths, okay. And the one of the most important formula to find the roots is known as what? That is known as quadratic formula. Quadratic formula. Lots of methods are there, but this is the main formula to find the roots, known as what? Quadratic formula. In maths also you will get this one. The formula is simple. X will be equal to what? Say, I'm writing it. Okay. Quadratic formula. So the formula is what? X will be equal to minus of b plus minus root over b square minus 4ac by twice a. b is the coefficient of x, a is the coefficient of x square, and c is the constant. So this is the formula known as what? Quadratic formula. Any kind of quadratic equation, difficult, simple, any kind of quadratic equation, by this formula you can find the roots easily. See, there will be some quadratic equation which you cannot factorize, some you cannot convert it into a plus b whole square. Actually you can convert it into a plus b whole square, a minus b whole square by the method of completing square. That also you have done in class 9 advanced, you have done slightly 1 or 2 questions, but properly in general maths you will get this time, okay. So yes, you can convert to a plus b whole square, a minus b whole square, but this is the best method, okay. Just you substitute the value, and in this formula you substitute the value of a, b, c, and directly your roots will come, okay. So this is known as what? Quadratic formula, and you will get your 2 roots. Since degree is 2, so how many roots you will get? 2 roots. One will be this plus this, and another will be this minus this. Means 2 roots you can say. One root will be x equal to minus b plus root over b square minus 4ac by twice a, and the other will be what? X equal to minus b minus root over b square minus 4ac by twice. So 2 roots you will get since the degree is 2. Okay, in short we say that minus b plus minus root over b square minus 4ac by twice a. Okay, so one more you have got in polynomials, you have got sum of the zeros and product of the zeros, okay. So if I write the quadratic equation ax square plus bx plus c equal to 0, so what will be the sum of the roots? Okay, over here it was zeros, now roots, okay. Sum of the roots, okay. Sum of the roots will be how much? What it was there? Minus coefficient of x by coefficient of x square. In polynomial we have done minus coefficient of x by coefficient of x square, isn't it? So minus coefficient of x divided by coefficient of what? X square. In short we can say what? Minus will definitely come, it is in the formula. And then what? What is the coefficient of x? B. So minus b. What is the coefficient of x square? A. So minus b by a. And product of the roots will be equal to what? So what you have learned in polynomials? Constant term divided by coefficient of x square, isn't it? So constant term constant term divided by coefficient of x square. So this is what? C by a. Okay, so this is the sum of the roots and this is the product of the roots. So why it is necessary? It is necessary to find the quadratic equation if the roots are given. Understood? Why it is necessary? Like we have found out the quadratic polynomial, okay, in first exercise only zeros used to be given and we used to find what? The polynomial. How? By this formula. There is one formula, right? I have given in polynomials. Same thing, same formula. In place of zeros, just we will write what? Roots. So what is the formula to find the quadratic equation? To find quadratic equation, okay, to find the quadratic equation, if roots are given, if roots are what? Given. So the formula is very simple. X square minus, remember, okay, the coefficient over here is 1. Only x square minus will come. For sure minus will come. Sum of the what? Roots. And then x. Okay. Plus product of the what? Roots equal to 0. So by this process we find what? The quadratic equation if in the question roots are given. So you see, easily you will get the quadratic equation x square minus, what is the sum of the roots? Minus b by a. So if I put over here minus b by a x plus, what is the product of the roots? C by a. Substitute c by a over here. So now if we keep on solving this one, which implies x square minus minus plus bx by a plus c by a equal to 0. Multiply all by a, you will get what? Ax square plus bx plus c equal to 0, which is our what? Required quadratic equation. And you know a cannot be 0. Over here also simple, see a is in the what? Denominator, right? So a cannot be 0 if it is a quadratic equation. The coefficient of x square cannot be 0. Done. And this is the formula to find what? This is the formula to find the quadratic equation from the roots. Done. Now just one last part is remaining, from which also questions come in the exam. So again, if I write the quadratic formula, say x is equal to what? Minus b plus minus root over b square minus 4ac by twice a. This part, okay, actually not this part, wait, minus b plus minus root over b square minus 4ac, this part, this inside part, by twice a. This inside part is known as what? Discriminant. D-I-S-C-R-I, let me check the spelling once. Discriminant. M-I-N-A-N-T, okay, not N-E-N-T, N-A-N-T. Known as what? Discriminant. This inside the square root. So this will tell us the what? Nature of the roots. So what will be the nature of the roots? This value will tell us b square minus 4ac. Whatever will be the nature of this will tell us. Okay, the roots will be what? Real numbers or imaginary numbers, 0, equal, whatever. This will tell. Okay. So now say. So what are the rule? So discriminant we denote by d. It is known as what? B square minus 4ac. Okay. This is known as what? Discriminant. This tells us the what? Nature of the roots. Nature of the roots. Okay. Now, so condition number 1 mark question may come. Okay, that if b square minus 4ac is greater than 0, then roots are what? Real. Okay, then roots are real and unequal. Then roots are real and unequal. Understood? They will be real number if it is greater than 0. Say 4, 6, 27, 28, whatever, 30, 35, 100. If it is greater than 0, then it will be real and unequal. Now 2 branches are there over this. Okay, 2 branches are there. So I will come this later on. Say now point number 2. Point number 2. If b square minus 4ac is equal to 0, then we will say what? Roots are real and equal. They will be equal if this is 0. So clearly if you see minus b plus minus root over, if I write 0 by twice a, then what will be our next line? this will be minus b plus minus, what is root over 0? This is 0 by twice a. So my two roots will be what? One will be minus b plus 0 by twice a, and another will be minus b minus 0 by twice a. So anyhow, same thing, plus 0 and minus 0 doesn't matter. Anyhow, I will get what? Minus b by twice a, comma minus b by twice a. So my roots will be what? Real and what? Equal roots you will get. Okay. Now you have seen, I think so, in math several times that sometimes while solving or splitting the middle terms a quadratic equation, we often get the root as what? 2, 2, 1, 1, minus 3, minus 3. So this happens when? If your discriminant is what? 0. Understood? Okay. So this is your second condition, important condition. And third important condition is what? Number 3. The number 3 is what? If b square minus 4ac is what? Less than 0, then roots will be what? Then roots are imaginary. Then roots are imaginary. And one more thing, if they are imaginary, since you can't find the square root, if they are imaginary, then they will be, the roots are imaginary and conjugate to each other. Then they will be what? Conjugate to each other. Say for example, this is less than 0, minus b plus minus, say the value is minus of 3, okay, less than 0, okay, by twice a. So you will get what? Minus b plus minus, this is what? 3i square by twice a, isn't it? So from I square I will come out, so I can write minus b plus minus I root 3 by twice a. So what will be the two roots? One will be minus b plus I root 3 by twice a. Another one will be minus b minus I root 3 by twice a. So you see the two roots. This is plus I root 3, this is minus I root 3. So they are, first of all, they are imaginary. If it is less than 0, inside square root, if there is a negative number, then it is always an imaginary number. So the roots will be imaginary. Second thing, they will be conjugate to each other. Okay. So these are the three important conditions. Okay. Now the sub conditions. Say you say there are some two sub conditions. Say after one, you can write A. Okay. So what is the sub condition? If this b square minus 4ac, this has to be greater than 0 only, okay, but it is a perfect square. If b square minus 4ac is a perfect square, and you have to say that what? A, B, C are rational numbers, okay, it's a perfect square, and a comma b comma c are what? Are rational. If they are perfect square and a, b, c are rational, then what you can say? Then you can say that your roots will be what? Rational and unequal. If b square minus 4ac is a perfect square and abc are rational, then your roots will be what? Comma, roots will be rational and unequal, okay? Clearly they will be unequal, isn't it? Say minus b plus minus, say this is 16 is there, okay, 16 is there, so it is a perfect square, then you will get what? 4 by twice a. So your one root will be minus b plus 4 by twice a, another one will be minus b minus 4 by twice a. Now this is not conjugate to each other, they will be unequal, because say the value of b is what? 10, then one will be minus 10 plus 4, you will get a different number, and one will be minus 10 minus 4, again you will get a different number, so they will be what? Unequal. So if it is a perfect square and ABC is rational, then your roots will be what? Rational and unequal. So its another sub condition is what? Simple. If it is not a perfect square, is not a perfect square, then simple, roots are what? Roots are irrational. If it is not perfect square, then it is an irrational number. Then roots are irrational. Okay. Then roots are irrational and what? They will not be unequal this time. Okay. You have to write and they are conjugate to each other. So yes, they will be conjugate. Say over here you have got minus b plus minus. Last time we have got 16. Say this time irrational number 17. Square root of 17. Irrational number. Okay. Means it is not a perfect square. If it is not a perfect square, then one will be minus b plus root 17 by twice a. Another one will be minus b minus root over 17 by twice a. So you see they are conjugate to what? Each other. Understood? So these are some conditions from which 1 mark question may come, and also if you understand this thing properly, you will get a clear idea about quadratic equation, how the equation is performing, how the roots are performing, what changes will happen when roots are changing. Okay, so this will also give a clear idea. So this part in the quadratic formula is known as what? Discriminant, and it tells us about the nature of the roots. Understood? So all things done. So now we can start the exercise. Okay. So remember, in two cases our roots will be conjugate. One is what? One is if the roots are imaginary, then also square root will remain. Another case is what? If the roots are what? If it is d square minus 4 is your discriminant is not a perfect square, irrational, then also you will get what? Conjugate roots. Because questions will come from conjugate roots. Okay. Only one root will be given. Yes, definitely that root will be either irrational or imaginary. So other root you have to write by yourself. That will be what? Conjugate to that root. Okay. So let us start exercise 4.1. Form a quadratic equation with the following roots. So roots are given. You have to form the quadratic equation. I have given the formula to find the quadratic equation: x square minus sum of the root x plus product of the roots equal to what? 0. So that one will apply. Question number 1. Question number 1. The roots is what? Minus 5 and 7. Solution. So simple. At first what? Sum of the roots. This one so I can do in directly only. Okay, no problem. If you want, if you want just 1 mark only, it will stay in here. So do it directly only. The required quadratic equation is directly you can do x square minus sum of the roots, that is minus 5 plus 7x plus product of the roots is equal to what? 0, which implies x square 5 6 7, that is 2, so minus twice x minus 35 is not equal to 0. So this is the quadratic equation. Okay, let us see another one. Say question number 6, for imaginary roots I am doing. This is what? 5i and minus 5i. 5i and what? Minus 5i. So this one also we can do directly. X square minus 5i. Okay, sum of the roots. So I can say 5i plus minus 5i x plus 5i into minus 5i, product of the roots is equal to 0, which implies x square minus plus 5i minus 5i cancelled. Okay, so let me write 5i minus 5i x plus minus minus, okay, plus minus minus 5 5 is 25, and then what? I square is equal to 0. So this is 0. 0 into x, 0, this is gone. This is a what? Pure quadratic equation. Pure quadratic equation. Okay. So x square and I square is what? Minus 1. So minus minus plus. So x square plus 25 will be what? Equal to 0. So this is the answer. Simple thing. This is a what? This is a pure quadratic equation. Understood? Pure quadratic equation. Okay. So directly you can do, but sometimes if the calculation is slightly long, say for example you have to take LCM and those stuffs, then it is better not to do directly. Okay, say 1 by 2 and minus 1 by 3, say number 5, 1 by 2 and what? Minus 1 by 3. So in this case solution, say given roots. Okay, in every question in the exam you write, okay, given roots 1 by 2. Don't let in HSLC the examiner to deduct any chance to get any chance to deduct your marks. Okay, so don't give him any chance. So you write your given roots 1 by 2 comma minus 1 by 3. Then it is better if you not do directly. Sometimes sum of the roots will be equal to what? 1 by 2 plus minus 1 by 3. So 1 by 2 minus 1 by 3. This is 6. This is 3 minus 2. This is what? 1 by 6. Okay. So this is 1 by 6. Next what? Next product of the roots. Product of the roots. 1 by 2 into what? Minus 1 by 3. This is minus 1 by 6. So therefore the required quadratic equation will be how much? X square minus sum of the root x plus product of the roots what is equal to 0. Oh, shortcut one. X square minus sum of the root is how much? 1 by 6. So 1 by 6x plus product of the root is how much? Minus 1 by 6 equal to 0, which implies x square minus 1 by 6x minus 1 by 6 equal to 0. So if I multiply 6, this will be 6x square minus x minus 1 equal to 0. So which is the required quadratic equation. So this is how you will find your quadratic equation if the roots are given. Okay, so today we will stop here. From next class, from question number 2 we will start. If there is anything to ask, you can ask. Okay, so that's all. Thank you.